All right, that means it's time to move on. So,
now it's just moving on music.
moving right along with of course, the theme to the Great Brian Last. Jim, let's get some more questions here before we wrap things up. Here's a question that was sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group from Joe Morris. Where do all the dead birds go? Billions upon billions of birds in the world. Shake a tree and they'll be there. Look in the sky, likely too. Where do all the dead birds go? So, Jim, you're Mr. Nature. What are your thoughts on this question?
They fall down and go boom. You've never, what's his name, Joe? Joe has never walked
Morris
along and seen a bird laying on the ground. It happens. Most of the time, they probably drift into unoccupied areas of the world. But yeah, you can walk around out in the woods and you'll see a dead bird every so often. So it happens. But then they don't stay there long, because then you got your turkey buzzards and your vultures and your other big birds that haven't you ever seen, Brian? Well, you got, every time you see roadkill up there in New Jersey, there's birds eating on it, right?
Not every time. Sometimes. I mean, usually it's by the side of the road. That's where you see.
Well, it's fresh bird. If it's in the middle of the road, the birds aren't stupid. That's why the thing got dead, because it was in the middle of the road. But on the side of the road or out in the fucking yard or whatever, the big birds are going to come down and eat the little bird. The big birds will come down and eat a fucking rabbit. Oh, I found a rabbit last summer. Part of a rabbit out in the yard that after it had been
this took a
somebody's dinner.
Oh.
But
which part?
There was various parts of it, but a lot of parts were missing. You couldn't really have reassembled anything. But it's part it's part of the cycle of life. That's what happens. Harley found these moles I've got. I've been, ever since they started putting a subdivision in across the road from me, they ran the moles from that 26 acres all over on this side of the road, and now I've got moles everywhere. And I'm always tamping down mole runs while I'm walking Harley. But she found one of them last summer. Again, it was just with its feet up on its back in a mulch bed, laying there deader than 4 o'clock. Deader than Kelsey's nuts. And I don't know what happened to it, but something happened. And then it wasn't there the next day because something came along and ate it. It's the cycle of life.
So in conclusion, Jim, where do dead birds go?
In bigger live bird stomachs, or potentially raccoons, or minks, or coyotes, or things of such of that nature.